one, go.
It just comes in from
We're talking about, what are we talking about?
the
the-
CMP power line corridor.
Right.
It's
And this is Duane,
Duane Hanson.
right. Movie star now of
Yeah.
in PBN.
But we live in the middle of it.
Right. So
And
how is it going to hit the map here?
it comes in from Quebec,
Uh-huh.
right up in Beatty Township. And these
Okay.
are all unorganized townships all the way across.
Okay.
There's very few, really, we're the only ones that live in our township, T5R7.
Oh, really? It's that remote?
That's right. There's very few
Wow.
people who live here year round. Almost, you could count them on one hand.
Wow.
But the thing of it is, this area it's all mountains. It's the Western Maine Mountains.
Uh-huh.
It cuts through, skims by a whole bunch of different mountains here. Tumble Down Mountain, Tree Slide, Moose Mountain. And the reason it does this, we found out, is the reason they want it here is because the hydro line, which Massachusetts would pay for, see, that's the deal.
Right.
So that only uses half of that corridor. The other half, already the information is coming in on that, is they want to put 130 windmills on all these mountains, all the way across. Now, the thing of it is...
Thus the term Western Mountains, is it mountains and rivers? But I
Well,
guess, but I don't know where wind
that's an
comes into
organization
that.
that
Right.
is taking money from CMP.
Right. But
And-
I'm thinking, but I don't know why wind was coming into that
Well,
name for me.
Like the Friends of the Boundary Mountains, they've been
Uh-huh.
fighting this for a good many years. And there's already some windmills built on the Kibbe's right here.
Okay, I see that.
But the idea was to cover all these mountains with windmills.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
the thing of it is these are all very, very steep, you know.
Right.
They're around, they average 3,000 feet or more.
Right.
The mountains. And not a good place for windmills. Anybody that knows about windmills knows that when you're in the mountains like that, the wind is convoluted. It doesn't,
Right.
it's not a steady
Huh.
breeze. So you're only getting maybe 30% of efficiency, where if you put them on the plains or out in the ocean, you get almost 100%. So
Wow.
the only reason they want to put them here is because there's so few people to complain about it. And the past governors, Baldacci, Angus King, LePage, they're all getting money from Iberdrola, which is CMP.
Really?
And
How so?
Baldacci is actually vice
Director? Board
director,
of Directors?
yeah, of
Avangard.
CMP.
Oh, my gosh.
Actually, Iberdrola. Anyway, so they've all invested, and also they've gotten it, so the laws in Maine, basically all the mountains are up for sale, the mountaintops. And this
So it's
whole-
like a mini mountaintop removal thing for us, except it's sort of in reverse. It's windmills instead.
Oh, yeah. Well, this whole area is owned by Plum Creek Warehouser, most of it.
Wow.
And all they are is an investment company, and they've cut all the wood.
And Weyerhaeuser, for those that don't know, is a lumber company. Right?
That's right. They're not.
Right.
There's no lumber company. They're all gone in Maine.
Okay.
Everything is owned mostly. There's some smaller and companies, and there's companies trying to get things going again, timber companies. But most of it is owned by investment companies. And selling the mountaintops is their next. It's also development. That's what we're fighting right now. Is they're trying to change the laws in this area too for development. And there's many things happening right now. That's the trouble. But this area
And then where does the end, oh, sorry, I'm interrupting.
North of this CMP line there's probably 20,000 acres of nature conservancy, parks and lands, and forest society. This whole area, I mean, there's even more than that, because this is Maine Public Reserve land, and all around Adian is Forest Society, and along the Moose River, this is the Moose River, it's a boat trip
Oh,
that
wow.
people, it's a very popular canoe trip.
Right.
That's Parks and Lands. And Nature Conservancy, see, owns all the way around our land.
Oh,
We're
wow.
enclosed. The trouble is the line is that CMP corridor.
Wow,
And-
so is this red line the CMP corridor?
Exactly.
Okay, so that goes here
And
and up
it's all
here.
in these
then
unorganized townships until
down
it hits
here.
201. So
Okay,
this whole area,
and that comes out of like, what is it? Westbrook and, not Westbrook, Wyndham, right? 201, is that the Roosevelt Trail? Or
well,
is that different?
this goes down through, most of the towns now are against it, but it goes down and it hits Lewiston.
Oh,
and
okay.
That's where
Not
they change.
Lewiston, not, I
That's
was
right.
getting it confused, I'm
They
sorry.
change it to AC power.
Now,
They-
just to give some sort of a sense as to where this is in regards to the Katahdin and Mount Katahdin and that new, what do you call it, national park thing? And where is that? Is that off the map here, just so that people who
Well-
are wondering?
Yeah, see, Moosehead Lake is over here.
Okay,
So Katahdin is up here.
okay.
But-
But I'm trying to get a sense as to where things are on this, but,
And that's the other section of the line, they're gonna put windmills up in Misery Corridor.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
see, they want to put
Ridge, Misery Ridge,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
this is
All
Misery
right.
Ridge, and they want to put windmills here and windmills here, and then they would link up at an old logging yard, timber yard.
And are you at all?
And that's, they want to call that Somerset Wind.
Wind,
So
okay.
basically, this whole area, that's what people don't know, that it has, this power line is just the beginning. And
Right.
They've also now talking about possible gas and oil pipelines on this line. And
Like
also,
frack gas or like fracking?
This is one of the routes
Oh
for,
my God.
this was one of the routes for the east-west highway.
Like,
And-
see, no
Well,
fracking
this was
way.
one, and there was one,
Coburn Gore,
I know,
that's where
but
they were.
I know,
thinking of
but
doing
this
the
was
east-west
also,
highway.
the Spencer Road was.
Yeah, maybe. But that was supposed to, the east-west highway was supposed to let the Canadians move their oil between Quebec and New Brunswick through Maine.
Right.
So
No, I
Maine would
know
just be
about
a-
the east-west
yeah.
highway thing. And, but then, because like one of the things that I saw in the One More River is that how all of this, like you might have seen my post about how, how much the Cree have lost in their land being decimated, and how they went in with not just the hydro, but they came in after that with all of the clear cutting and everything. Are you at all afraid of that coming into these territories? And
They've already been doing a lot of clear cutting. in
Oh,
this
yeah.
area.
Well, this
right,
whole-
but wouldn't this give them more excuse to come in?
Well, there's a lot of
Depends on
things
the timber company.
that they've been trying.
Yeah.
Right.
LePage he was trying to resurrect mining in Maine.
Right.
And mining has been, the rules, the people in Maine had voted years ago against mining. And
Right.
LePage finagled his way, he got some stuff changed. The trouble is this whole area was, at one time, this was Scott Paper, owned
Okay.
a lot of this, 1 million acres here. And
Right.
they're the ones that sold to Plum Creek and Weyerhaeuser.
Oh,
But
boy.
this area, Scott Paper also had a subsidiary that was Black Hawk Mining. So this whole area
Wow.
in the 60s, they did core samples and all, and that some of the areas are owned, the mineral rights are owned actually by mining companies. And
Wow.
so anything can happen. And
But we need to do whatever the heck we can do to help save this and keep
that's
it
right.
pristine.
It's happening all across Canada, you know, the Athabascan.
Right, with the tar sands.
That's right.
Right,
And-
I have friends that are up in that area too.
Yeah,
And-
so this is
Yeah.
all the way
worldwide,
across the
yeah,
country.
yeah.
And, you know, like
Yep.
this here is the last of the woods in the northeast. It's the big area of just forest. And yes, it's been cut and everything, but it's been cut for hundreds of years.
But
But
it's been maintained by loggers, it seems, that have a sense as to know where to cut and how to cut,
Well, that's,
which, at least from what I'm seeing, but, yeah, feel free to, what were you gonna say?
it's just that, no, that's a whole nother issue. The cutting, there was a time when it was sustainable. The cutting was a sustainable forest. But now, you know, with equipment and like, now it's investment companies. If it was, you know, back in the days of paper companies and sawmills and stuff, you didn't go in and just wipe out your land because you wanted to keep, you know, cutting wood every year. So you
Right.
were careful. Well, that's all gone now. Now it's, you get your money today.
Right,
And now that they've cut too hard, now what they want to do is sell mountaintops for wind. That's the only reason they're
Right.
doing this. And it's just
Ugh.
sick, you know, because once this is lost,
it's all
and
over.
this is only the beginning, then there's, you know, further north. But the unique thing about this area is it's all mountains. And the
Wow.
mountains kind of peter out as you get up towards Mount Katahdin.
Right.
And then way up north to St. John and Allagash.
Yeah, I canoed the Allagash when I was at College of
it's
the
not-
Atlantic, and it's very flat up
That's right.
there.
This area, have you been in this area?
I just, that one time when I went up with convening caucuses, you know,
Yep.
with,
Well, you're welcome to come visit.
Yeah, this area is a
okay.
He'll give you a tour of it.
I should
Yeah.
come up, and
I
maybe
got out
we
of high
could,
school in '72, and I worked for Great North in the woods in logging camps. And at that time, it was all selective cut. And
Uh-huh.
you were very careful about how you treated the woods. And it was a sustainable forest. There was
right,
paper mills, there was wood mills, all in every town. Now, all that's gone.
and
And yet they cut more wood in Maine. What they do with it, I haven't got a clue, but they cut it so fast that it doesn't have a chance to grow back. If you let it alone, it'll heal. But once you start in with, you know, windmills and power lines, it's done.
it's over,
It's
right.
over.
Well, it's also part of the, like in my current edition of the paper, I'm like rewriting, I may have to rework it on Facebook, but add a little Roundup, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
they-
like,
actually, they do
you know,
add Roundup after they do a clear cut.
right.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
know.
Especially in the
right.
Jackman
That's
area.
what these,
Well, they do that
Yes.
with a clear cut
Yes.
anyway?
Yeah, afterwards.
they
Oh, my
sprayed-
God.
They've sprayed Roundup to kill the blueberry bushes so that the fir and spruce and all would get it's just a bad forestry.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They do that in the Jackman
Forestry
area.
used to be where you needed nurse trees, you wanted shade, you know, birch trees, poplar would come up fast, provide shade for the evergreens, and those would get going. That's all out the window now. It's just,
Wow.
you know,
Huh.
and the use of herbicides, like up in the Jackman area, there's a lot of cancer.
Oh,
And
my God.
their water supply comes from the Moose River. So you know, the Moose River flows, they get their water in Jackman
Uh-huh.
from Bigwood. And
What's
that's
Bigwood?
Bigwood Pond.
Oh, that's the name of the pond.
And see, the Moose
Okay.
River
All right.
feeds Addie and Moose, you know, it flows right through, and the Moose River continues. So not only is it it's affecting our water, it crosses the big flowage that fills Whipple Pond. So
Uh-huh.
basically, our water would be polluted. It crosses all the brooks, hundreds
Wow.
of brooks that flow north and south. They all flow north and south. That cuts east and west. So
Well, we have to also pray for that bill that gives each of the towns the right to stop it, too.
I know. Well, they, at this point, that's one of the rulings that they're trying to, the legislature is, you know, trying to look at. They're going to look at it. you know,
Right.
and they should have a right. You know, the trouble is with Jackman, they're not even direct, but they are, you know, this is going to affect, you know, the tourist industry,
Right.
you know, it's going to affect their water, it's going to affect hunting and fishing. The brook trout, you know, this whole area is brook trout is number one. And
Uh-huh.
beautiful, you know, fishing places here. And
Wow.
this even crosses, see, this is 5,000 acres in here that is protected brook trout habitat. And that power line is going to make a mess of that too. And
Holy,
no, there's just so many issues. You could go on all day about it. And
wow.
so,
Well, how can we wrap this up?
stop it. Period.
Right.
There's no if or
Stop
but.
all
There's-
this development,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's right. Well, the thing of it is people say there's two ways to look at it. And
Uh-huh.
what my thing is yeah, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. That's it.
Right. And the right way is to preserve this the way it is.
That's right, for future generations. And this has
Yep.
been, you know, the Maine Woods has been open to people to go and use for hunting and fishing and hiking and canoeing and all these different things. And it's been that way for hundreds of years. And now all of a sudden we're coming to a time when they want to exploit it. So that's not good.
We have to keep our nature.
That's right. Because
Yep.
there's so little of it left. And like you're always reading about the Amazon, you know, save the Amazon because we need it
To
have air
breathe,
and everything.
right.
Well, this northern forest is just as important as the Amazon. They
Amen.
both are. But the natives in the Amazon are going through the same darn
Well,
thing.
that's why I called the Maine Earth Day alert for James Bay back in 1993. The Maine Earth Day alert for James Bay, North America's own Amazon. You know, so it's not just,
That's
you
right.
know, it's like we all need these, like people say that the trees and the forests and are our lungs for our earth. And if we cut them all down, how are we going to breathe?
That's right. It's going to be
You
the
know?
end of us. So that's
Right.
that's the next thing. That it should be unquestionable at this point because the information is out there that one tree over, you know, its lifetime takes so much of that carbon out. You know, trees take out 30% of the carbon.
Wow.
You know, that's you know, the pollution from cars and factories and everything. So why are we cutting them down? You know, that whole business in James Bay, and it's destroying more than it's, you know, that those people that got up and spoke, they're so full of shit. No, they are. It's just disgusting. And that's what you're up against, you know.
Right.
People-
Well, how should we bring this to an end? I guess I could say thank you for your time.
Okay. Well,
and
I'm glad
we're
we-
very grateful for all of your contributions and for sort of being the canary in the coal mine, as it were,
Yeah.
to sort of stand up like the David and Goliath, and
Yeah.
so,
All we can do is raise awareness.
That's right. Hopefully get everybody aware in Maine so we can vote this thing out.
exactly. Thank you so much.